1v1 on Hideout, and I'm playing as the Poles here, and my opponent is playing as the Burgundians. We're both from the United States. It's a ranked 1v1, and we are... Oh, look at that. I'm housed. That's so bad. Okay, I was only for a split second. But anyway, it's a rank 1v1, so we're like high level 100s, low 1200s. And here we go. So now, as Poles, I've done a bunch of different strategies. And as Poles in this game, I was thinking to myself, Hideout. What can I do with Hideout? Can I Vil Rush on Hideout? Is it possible? What if I TC dropped as Poles? I'm not a TC dropper. It's more of a poop lord and drill time thing. I'm not a TC dropper, which is going to be very apparent as we go further on. But why not try something a little bit different? Let's try something a little bit strange and off meta. So I'm going really heavy on food here, and I'm just going to make a ton of villagers and send some villagers forward here. So villagers are coming forward, still collecting the rest of the boar here, and I have 3 cows left. So he sees my villagers coming forward here with the scout, get some hits on his scout there. It doesn't matter if he gets some hit points on my vills because they're just going to heal. So he immediately starts walling up, and we're going to try and get in here as quickly as possible. Attacking on this gate with my scout, bringing 3 villagers over here to attack here, attacking the palisade here, here, and over here. So that's 5 different points that he's going to have to try and wall, some quicker than others, to try and keep me out. And I'm sending even more villagers forward. So now 14 villagers forward, I believe. Let's see. Yes. It keeps giving me the scout instead. I think it's 14 villagers. And look at that. As soon as I got in, he quick walled. So that was a really fast reaction with house wall. And boom, once again, that's 2 times that, just a split second faster I would have got in. But he did another gate here. Inside of Dark Age, gates and palisade walls and houses are really weak, and so it's quite possible to get through here. So he's letting me break through here, but he's already walled in behind there. Now the problem with that is, I don't like this. The problem with that is, if I attack, one of these houses, now he's gonna have to, like this house right here, he's gonna have to try and wall all the way around it to try and keep me out. So I don't think that was the smartest thing, but I got through here, tried to quick wall me out again, and through here. So I'm in his base now with villagers, and I can vilify all day long as Poles because my villagers heal, and I'm not really concerned about it. So I just find out that his TC's here and have to pull back a little bit. He actually walled this off again. Like, he's pretty fast with how he walled things in, and I should say his team elo is about 2,000, so which is quite a bit higher than mine. So here is my grand mistake. I think if I had gone 1 tile in further, I think I would have been good. But me not being a TC dropper, I learned the hard way that this was not a good TC drop. And you might be asking yourself, well, why would you TC drop anyway? Like, what's the point? Well, it really throws people out of their OODA loop. They just don't know what to do a lot of times whenever you TC drop somebody. And also, I want to safely take resources back home, which I have plenty of villagers, 8 there and 8 there, so 16 villagers back home. And now I'm in his base causing mayhem. And another thing is he did make it a feudal, but even in feudal, the houses aren't that strong. -1 armor. So I can actually come over here and actually lose it. This is a bad decision here. I tried to take down this tower here, but I'm being shot by the town center. So I'll lose a couple of vills here, I think. And it was not worth it there. Yeah, 2 villagers there. So that was unfortunate. But now that I realized that my town center, my TC drop was ineffective, I'm like, well, what else can I do? I was actually a little worried. I'm like, I don't really know what I'm going to do now. Like, what do I follow this up with now? And so I was like, well, I'm just going to start taking out his houses. So let's go to his point of view. He built a crap ton of houses. So it's going to have to take a lot of houses getting destroyed before he's even worried about being capped or housed. But, you know, you look at the villager count, I have 6 more villagers than he does. I'm almost up to feudal now. And he's had a lot of idle eco time, because he's trying to react to all this going on. And he also invested a lot of wood building all these houses that I'm taking out now. So now I'm in feudal as well, and I'm getting fletching. Building a blacksmith here, and I'll build a market at some point too. I want to be able to get up the castle relatively fast, and dropping some farms back here on this folkwork so I get the benefit of the 10% food as soon as it's built. And I also, part of the reason why I put the TC here is because other than just trying to drop his TC, my TC on his TC, it was going to allow me to take this stone safely, and I'm going to take this stone at some point as well. Being Poles, you want to take a lot of stone because you can get gold for mining stone. He's keeps losing houses. We'll speed up a little bit more. And so he's having to keep adding in more. Like, this is all, you know, 25 wood every single time he's building a house. And he's on his way to castle. Which, honestly, if he had played this a little bit differently, I think he could have probably punished me pretty hard for getting into castle before I did. By a significant amount. But he's just not... We talked about this after the match. We had a good conversation. Definitely seems like a good guy, and if I told him about the channel, so if you're watching, J-Rob, thanks for playing, thanks for being a good sport. But we talked about it, and he's just like, oh, I've never seen something like this before. He's like, I don't know, I didn't know what to do. So anyway, dropping my market now, and once that's done, I should be on my way up to castle. Let's see. At some point, yeah, there we go. Alright, on my way to castle. And getting another folkwork up as well. Really want to maximize getting some food quickly, and then the stone as well. So, got a lot of villagers on stone. So he's getting some knights out here, which is the right decision. He forces my villagers back away from these houses, even gets a villager kill there. So I like how he did that. I think maybe he should have prioritized getting more farms down. He has 640 wood. Maybe prioritize getting some more farms down and get some more knights out than what he had. And he's getting a Mangonel out as well. So that's a good decision because it can put pressure on the TC, and it can even attempt to stop a castle. Now I have, what's that, like 20 villas almost, trying to get this castle up. And this is a risky castle. I knew this was a risky castle, but also I was kind of worried a little bit. And I barely saved that vill. He's climbing back into it. But I was like, you know what, if I drop a castle on him, it could be huge. Now I'm losing vills left and right because he's got double Mangonels hitting me now. Like, how bad is this? And I'm sending vills after his Mangonel there, just trying to get him to pull back so I can get this castle up here. Like, this is messy, messy stuff right here. KD is 12-4, so he's been doing pretty dang good with the KD. But I get the castle up. The castle goes up, and he's going to start losing things left and right. I think he loses his Mangonel too at some point, because he gets a little bit too close. Yep. So he comes over here to start taking the stone over here. And wisely sends the vast majority of his vills away from here. And I have so much stone, and I also bought a little bit of stone as well from the market because I didn't want him being able to buy it. So it was twofold, buy it for myself, but also keep him from having to get it so cheap. And so I'm going to drop a second castle over here as well. And this is going to really solidify my position. Because now everything that he had here, he's just like abandoning ship. He's like, you know what? Not worth it. So that means he's going to have to rebuild lumber camps. He's going to have to rebuild farms. He's going to have to rebuild houses. He's going to have to rebuild TCs. Everything that he invested into here, he's going to have to rebuild. And immediately targeting this town center, I want to take it out. And I want to steal these farms. So, word of advice. If someone takes out one of your TCs and has villagers and starts building a mill or a TC, delete your farms. Because if you do not delete your farms, they're probably going to take them. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. And you only have a couple seconds to start stealing farms most of the time, because most of the time people are going to start trying to delete their farms. So here I am taking villagers off the town center to immediately start tasking them to farms. Once they start farming that farm, it becomes my farm, and they can't do anything about it anymore. They can't delete it. So pretty happy about that. And he's got three town centers now, rebooming pretty quick. I mean, Burgundians have some pretty insane technology, economic technologies that they can get. They can get all of their economic upgrades one age earlier, which is pretty freaking huge, especially like the wood upgrade. You know, you could delay going into Imperial Age for quite a while, especially because you can get Cavalier inside of Castle Age. Now the Cavalier are not as strong as typical Cavalier because the Burgundians do not get bloodlines, so instead of having 140 hit points, they have 120. Now, funny enough, the way I discovered this town center is because my villagers automatically started looking for stone when they ran out of stone. So I start getting shot by these this town center. I think I might lose one. Yeah, I lose one, maybe two before I react. I'll just barely save this woman. Amazing. So now that I realize that he's over there, I'm just going to get some more stone. Yep, I almost have enough. 627. I think I'm mining. No, I wasn't. I was, and now I'm not anymore. So I've got to buy a little bit of stone, I think is what it is. Or get some gold and then buy some stone. Either way, I need a little bit more stone. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I bought 100 stone. And I'm going to drop a castle on that town center because I really don't want him having access to castles. Castles mean he can get unique techs like Flemish Revolution, where all his villagers turn into military units. I could probably mop up what I have right now if he had enough villagers. I also don't want him getting access to the vineyard tech, whatever it is, that his farmers would collect gold and his relics would provide food as well. I don't want him getting any of those awesome techs. So if I can deny him getting stone and kill villagers and just, you know, drop it by dropping a castle, I'm definitely going to do it. So now we got a trifecta of castles here and double town centers. Stole all these farms. I think Teutonic Fortress, if you happen to be watching this, I think you'd be proud. I mean, it's not as beautiful and well planned as something that you put together, but it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. And he keeps ejecting villagers, or not ejecting villagers, I guess they're being created and sent to stone and then they die, so that's unfortunate for him. Villager count though is 51 to 51, so all this going on. The KD is 14 to 12, so we're pretty freaking even, and he's walling off here trying to keep me out so he can safely take stone here and try and reboom. And he's actually building outposts over here to get a line of sight on what's going on here. Let's check out how much you can see. Yeah, he has pretty good scouting going on. And yeah, this town center is going to go down. And I'm going to start taking the stone over here as well. And build a folkwork and do what? Steal some more farms. Because we're farm bandits. That's what we do. He's adding in a lot of farms. And he's getting a monastery with some monks, so he can start collecting relics. Adding quite a few stables too. KD is 67 to 73. Pulling forward a little bit with the villager count, but he is on his way to Imperial. No, I'm on my way to Imperial Age. Excuse me. And so now I'm thinking, what do I want to do here? I'm pretty sure that whatever economy he has is probably pretty exposed. Just by thinking to the fact that I know he's probably building new town centers and it's not well structured and walled off and planned, I'm thinking, well, he's probably going to be pretty exposed. So if I can get some winged hussars in there, that could be absolutely devastating. So I wanted to get to Imp before he did. I don't think I'm aware that he has a castle yet. Let's see. Okay, no, I do see the foundations. I think my guys came over here and at some point and got shot by the castle, and I pulled them back. So, but yeah, at some point I realized he had a castle there. So I need to get some trebs. I'll take out that castle, get away into there, and start raiding what I believe is most likely his exposed resources. And he's sending quite a few Cavalier over here And I mean, it makes sense that I would still have villagers left here to collect the resources over here. And so he makes the pretty smart decision to come over here and try and get into my economy and create a lot of havoc. And that's exactly what he's going to do here. It's really going to delay my imperial plans by quite a bit. And he's attacking in 2 separate spots, which is going to make it hard for me to try and wall in. So I'm just going to go and start pulling my villagers back. No sense in trying to wall off there. Let's wall off here and get my villagers inside the town center as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, I have too many, and some of them are just going to get, you know, beat up. So at some point, I'm like, I think I'm going to start attacking the Cavalier with the villagers at some point. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but I mean, they're not the strongest Cavalier in the world, so screw it. You know, it's better than just standing there and dying, so you might as well fight and try and take them down a little bit faster. And they're, I mean, Polish villagers, man, OP, little berserkervilles is what I call them. Like, these Cavalier between the town center fire and these freaking villagers. They're going down, man. Oh, it's crazy. So he has 3 left. Decides, you know what, I'm going to pull back over here. I'm not going to keep fighting. So I'm going to buy a little stone and drop a defensive castle to protect what economy I have. And boom, there we go. So you can come in here all you want, but I have a castle now, so I can retreat into it and protect my villagers. So trebuchets are out over here. Took down the castle first. Now I'm going to work on getting a way in there. And look at all this exposed, juicy economy. Like, all his military is over here. Nothing is here. There's no defensive buildings other than a town center. He's got a Mangonel. That's it. He really doesn't have anything else. So now I'm getting all these winged hussars, and I want them to get fully upgraded with the unique tech that gives them trample damage as well, just in case you know, he has anything that's gonna be hard to take out. I want them to be fully upgraded, and pretty much everything he has is forward. And he actually built a siege workshop as well, probably thinking about how he's going to pressure this economy. But this is like my secondary economy. Like, it's important, don't get me wrong, but like, the vast majority of my economy is over here, and it's very well protected, so I'm not super concerned about it. And he decides to go into archery ranges. Now, the Poles aren't extremely strong against archers because they don't have the final armor upgrade. But the winged hussars have trample damage, and if you can get a good surround on archers, the winged hussars are absolutely nasty against archers as long as you can get a good surround on them. So coming forward here, and now it's time just to kill villagers and start taking out anything I can get my hands on. Now, talking to J-Rob after the game, he said, I was actually thinking about dropping a bunch of town centers and going Flemish Revolution, which I have to admit, I'm very glad he didn't get to that point, but it probably would have made for a hell of a video, and who knows who would have won between that. So he has these Cavalier here. Like I said, they're not very strong Cavalier. He's only got 14 of them, and I have I have pretty well upgraded winged hussars here with trample damage, and I have a lot more of them than he does. So, and I do have some Obush as well, which do pretty well against, you know, heavily armored units like Cavalier. So he's trying to get the hill advantage. I mean, that's fine. I got so many though. It's going to be all right. Just got to keep pumping them out and adding in some more farms here. The town centers are doing the Lord's work on these TCs, just absolutely clearing them up. Even attacking his monastery here, going to eject the relics that he has so he can't get the gold and food from them. And he expanded all the way over here to my flank and is really going big, trying to collect gold. I mean, this guy, heart of a lion, dude, like, just kept hanging in there. A lot of people would have probably given up because of all the pressure, but he just kept on fighting and booming and finally called the GG. And what a good game it was. Like, from my failed TC drop, but the trifecta of castles, the winged hussars, like, just wow. This game was fun to play, it's fun to watch, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. And we'll catch you guys next time.